Coming up, the Eskom chief executive, Marinus de Ruyter, discusses South Africa's energy shortage. We'll bring you that conversation next, and this is Bloomberg. Economics, finance, politics. This is Bloomberg Surveillance Early Edition. I'm Francine Lacqua here in London. Now, South Africa has been suffering electricity blackouts since 2008, with outages spiking to record levels last year. Now, at the center of the storm, state utility firm Eskom. Speaking exclusively to Bloomberg, the chief executive, Marinus de Ruyter, says the company's survival depends on debt relief and tariffs.
I think if you look at three things that you need to address the capacity shortfall, you need time, you need money, and you need skills. In your introduction, you referenced the fact that we've got significant outstanding debt. Hopefully, this will now be resolved by an announcement by the Minister of Finance in his upcoming budget speech that there will be a substantial debt relief for Eskom. That will be important to put us in a sound financial footing. If you don't have money, you can't fix your plant. You need skill. I think it's widely acknowledged that Eskom has had substantial skills challenges. We have opened the doors to recruiting back some of the skills that we've lost over the years. So hopefully that will start playing a significant role in helping us to run our plants better. We're also looking at potentially outsourcing some of the operations of our plants so that we can bring in skills that we simply don't have anymore. And then the last thing you need is you need the headroom to take units off to perform the outages that are necessary to keep the plant stable and reliable. And due to a lack of capacity, which Eskom's been calling for, bearing in mind that Eskom is not able by law to build new capacity without the consent of government, which has not been forthcoming, we need additional capacity, and we've been calling for 4 to 6 gigawatts of new capacity to be added consistently for the past 3 years, and only belatedly now have the floodgates been opened to private sector investment in this regard, and there's a lot of it coming, and that will make a massive contribution to resolving the issue.
And Andre, I also have to ask you, I mean, as we mentioned, you're the outgoing CEO. There will be, I believe it's the 15th CEO for Eskom coming in. Do you think it is one sole person that can actually turn this company around? Does it need to be a complete restructuring at the top? What's your take? How difficult do you anticipate it to be to find an executive, especially considering the challenges that you've had to endure both professionally and personally?
It certainly is a tough job. It's definitely not for the faint-hearted. I think what we need to do, and increasingly we are now seeing moves in that direction by the government, is to enable Eskom to operate as a 24/7 industrial operation without some of the bureaucratic encumbrances that we've suffered in terms of procurement regulations, in terms of the skills that we're able to recruit, in terms of how we have to account to various oversight bodies, which, of course, takes up an enormous amount of time from the executive team. And that's time that we don't have to spend on actually turning around the business. So I think that there's a realization that management in particular have to be given a freer hand, and that they can then do the job without having both hands tied behind their back by bureaucratic red tape.
That was the outgoing Eskom chief executive officer speaking to Bloomberg. Now let's get straight to your Bloomberg Business Flash. Here's Leanne.